I'm Griffin Bach, and I'm here with Chief of Police Jeff Sjoblom, and we're on a new segment called Community Talks, where we interview people of the community of Kenyon-Wanamingo. So the first question is, where did you grow up and go to high school?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Appreciate the invite. So, pleasure to be talking to you right now. So, I grew up in the country, actually between Kenyon and Cannon Falls. So, I went to high school in Cannon Falls. Yeah, I'm just a country boy and decided to stay in the area.
Yeah. What did you do after high school?
After high school, I attended the Rochester Community College and Technical College. Back then, I thought when I was going to school, I thought I was going to get into construction.
Yeah.
But so I went to RCTC for carpentry, graduated with a diploma in carpentry, and yeah, life changed after that.
Yeah. What do you like to do in your free time when you're not at work?
All right. Obviously, spend time with my family.
Yeah.
You know, our families are close to each other,
Yeah.
and spend a lot of time with each other. So family's huge. Spend as much time as I can with them. I also have a shop, so I like to work on vehicles, work on house projects, just try to do whatever I can just to get away from my normal life as job as law enforcement, and try to separate myself from law enforcement as much as I can. So.
And now a couple of questions about your job. How long have you been in law enforcement?
Back when I started school in 2002 is when I started going to school, and there's a sociology class, and they needed to do some volunteer work.
Yeah.
Part of the class. So, and this is when I went back to school, when I decided to go back for law enforcement. And so January 2002, I was looking for volunteer work, so I ended up working for Cannon Falls Reserves. And so, so I'd volunteer there 10 to 20 hours a month at the Cannon Falls PD. And so that's kind of my first taste of law enforcement, riding along squad cars, hanging out with law enforcement officers. And so, so really it's been 21 years that I've really been involved in law enforcement.
So what does a normal day on the job look like for you?
You know, during school season, I try to get to the school in the morning. I want to be there for the kids as much as I can in the morning in case something happens. So, so I hang out there, and then I head back to the office, meet with my assistant to see if there's any messages or anything that I got to take care of. That by the end of the day of one work day, I have a list of things that I need to get done the following day.
Yeah.
So usually I'll just kind of break down the list and find out what I need to get done for that day, and because then I start the list for the next following day. So it kind of varies. I really don't have a normal day.
Yeah.
It's something new every day, and that's what I really enjoy about law enforcement is the variety of never know what you're going to get into.
What is the difference between your job as a sheriff's deputy and your job as the chief?
Awesome, good question. So a deputy, we're not the sheriff is elected, and the chief is appointed by the city council. You know, like they're hired by the city. So when I was a deputy, it was we got to roam the whole county of Goodhue County.
Yeah.
You know, we had different assignments as counties. You know, we could be working in Wanamingo for a contract or Pine Island as a contract. It was always a variety of where I was going to be working when I was a deputy. And then I got into different roles. I was on the SWAT team with the county, and then got into being a school resource officer with the county. But now as a chief, it's when that opportunity came up, it was got the chance to make the decisions for the PD. You know, this is where my friends and my family have kids that go to KW, and so I thought it was a great way to get more involved with the community that my kids go to school in, and give back to the community where my kids are going to school. So, you know, and then as a chief, I'm able to make decisions for the police department, just now I supervise people now basically. So when I was a deputy, I didn't have much of a supervisory role there. So.
Next question, what is the most rewarding thing in law enforcement?
You know, I worked with a young woman one day that she was into methamphetamines and stealing and burglarizing people's places. And I was able to, when I was interviewing her in jail regarding some cases I was working on, we started kind of building a rapport. And behind what I was trying to do, I was actually trying to get to one of her people that she hung out with. I wanted to try to make sure that that person went to prison. That's because I knew that that was a ringleader.
Yeah.
So I was trying to develop a rapport with her to get to that other person. But in the meantime, I was able to watch her grow and starting to realize what she was doing in life and that she wanted to take a different path. And so, so I'd spend hours in the jail talking to her just about life, talking about God, and we both had a strong belief. And so it was when it came to when she was going to get sentenced or to go to prison, she had quite a few months hanging over her head. She was going to go to school or go to prison for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And so she asked if I could write a letter to her attorneys to get her into treatment. So I did. I wrote a letter and basically a letter of reference for her attorneys, and she was able to go to treatment. When she got out of treatment, she was able to stay clean, and now just recently, just in the last few months, she bought a house down in Spring Valley. So when I was working at Pine Island SRO, I was able to invite her to the school and talk about her life to the class, the students at Pine Island. And it was very impactful for those kids. So just watching someone like that go through all the struggles and then get her life turned around. And now she's got 2 kids, and she's now owns her own home, and she's doing really well in life. So that's one of the most rewarding things that I've done in law enforcement, is just help her get on the right path. But obviously just being there for the people that need it.
Next question, what was your favorite part about your job, and what is the most challenging part about your job?
What's the favorite part about my job? I think the reason why I wanted to get in law enforcement is probably one of my favorite parts, is the community helped raise me. It wasn't just my parents. I grew up in this area. I got my haircuts at the hair place in Kenyon. So, just my favorite part is being able to give back to the community that basically helped raise me.
Yeah.
Seeing the kids grow up and be productive and be a part of their lives. I was able to coach 5th and 6th grade Tommies, and so I coached for 4 years. So, so that being in this job is I'm able to watch those kids grow up and just be a part of their lives. And so that's my favorite part about this job, is just being a part of the community that I'm in right now. The challenging part right now is trying to stay positive right now with all the social media, all the negative talk about law enforcement and officers. I know that, I tell my guys all the time, hey, 99% of the public like what we're doing. They respect us and do it for them. There's that 1% that's just, they're very loud, obnoxious, and anti-law enforcement. Unfortunately, they get a lot of publicity in the media, and so and that's what people hear. And some people cling on to that and think that must be the truth because it's what's in the media. So I gotta try to stay positive for myself and for my guys when hearing all that.
Last question, what would you say to a high school student thinking about getting involved in law enforcement?
Based on what I said today, I think everybody should be lining up to get in law enforcement.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great things about law enforcement. So come do some ride-alongs. If they want to get involved in law enforcement, I encourage them to do some ride-alongs. Kind of like what I did, just got a taste of what law enforcement was. But there are some challenges. You're gonna, obviously some things, that we've seen the last couple of years against law enforcement. Numbers are down right now because we don't have enough young people coming into law enforcement. So I try to do my best to recruit when I can. I try to get into school, and I try to encourage some people that are thinking about it to help them along. There's 2 reserves right now, 3, that are actually going to school for law enforcement. And I'm just trying to help them, stay hungry for their careers. And so, come talk to me if you're thinking about getting into law enforcement, and we'll do ride-alongs. And there's some, just like nursing and other professions, that you will end up having to work holidays. You'll have to miss some birthdays. You'll have to miss some family get-togethers. So there's definitely some downfalls to this job. But in the end, if you find yourself on the road and somebody needs you and just wants to hold on to you, this is a great field to just get into and just mean something to somebody. and that
Yeah.
was my biggest thing is I just wanted to matter. I wanted to matter to people and give back.
Yeah, that's all the questions I got, but thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.